quote that pretty much changed my life trajectory was that the only thing that you can truly control is your mind. And I learned this like 3-4 years ago, but I didn't really understand like what it really meant. Like this was way before I got into mindset, before I got into everything. That's why like when I started getting a mindset, everything started kind of just clicking. I just kind of came across the right content on YouTube, and then I read the book Cybernetics, which completely changed my life. It basically teaches you how to use your brain for success. Like we're literally built like for success, like our minds are engineered to success, and you just have to like use it in the right way, you know, using your imagination, you know, choosing to control the right emotions. And when I heard this quote that you can, like the only thing you can truly control is your mind, I didn't really grasp it, I didn't understand it. But then like as I've been learning about mindset, I've been putting it all together. And I've been, you know, teaching it on YouTube. I've been teaching, you know, through my own experiences and through my own words and interpretations that are actually easier, you know, to understand, and it's been amazing. So this isn't like how to control your mind, but it's so. I watched this YouTube video like a couple days ago. He said that like, and it kind of made me think, because it was like you're a complete representation. Like your mind is, and your thoughts and the way you act is a complete representation of every thought that you've had. Right? It's a sum of the thoughts that you had. Like how your brain works, how you speak, how you are, how you like live, is a complete sum of all the thoughts that you have. But I think my like more specific interpretation of that was that like you're a complete sum of all the thoughts that you choose to actually consume, right? Because like every thought that we have like isn't necessarily good. It isn't necessarily bad either, right? We have a lot of positive thoughts, we have a lot of negative thoughts. But I think like you are a complete representation of like the thoughts that you choose to consume. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have to like consume negative thoughts. We don't have to consume like specific negative thoughts that bring us down, because the only thing you can truly control is your mind, right? But like more negative thoughts that you consume, you're gonna be a negative person. The way you see the world, if you see the world in a negative way, then like you're gonna have negative results. So I think that's kind of my own like interpretation on it. How do you actually like implement this in your life? How do you like only choose to consume positive thoughts? How do you even know the difference between something that's a negative and positive thought? And it again, it comes down to this one question, like what would my evolved identity do, right? Because our evolved identity is the identity that we're meant to become, you know, the person that we choose to become, the person that we're meant to become. It is out there in the future, right? And you create it, you know, in your imagination, in your mind, right? Every single person is, you know, born with a potential and an identity. And if a negative thought comes up, right, and it doesn't align with your evolved identity, then don't choose to consume it, right? And if this negative thought is like comfort, right? This was my like main thing that was kind of in the way, you know, fear and comfort, and it's still in the way. I'm not gonna lie, right? You know, I've been on this huge, you know, evolution journey to financial freedom, to trying to maximize my life in every single way, my health, my wealth, you know, relationships. Like it has been a huge journey. I've learned a lot of lessons, and that's why, you know, I've been kind of documenting my thought process, documenting all, you know, my mindset shifts that help me on this journey, because I know there's someone out there who's also, you know, going on this journey. I feel like these mindset shifts that I've learned, right, controlling your mind, has like genuinely changed my life, and I know like this could change someone else's life. Like I just got into high ticket sales. You know, it's my path to financial freedom. I mean, I hope it's obviously a stepping stone to creating my own offer, which I'm working on right now. You know, I have really long-term goals. I have really long-term visions, you know, with this thing, because it's genuinely, you know, it gave me purpose, it gave me vision. You know, I'll be getting closer with God, really just like finding my spirituality, really just finding out, living through life. Like I'm 19 years old, I have so much to learn, and I'm just documenting my process and like implementing everything that I teach and I preach, you know, on the way. And I think the biggest thing was choosing to consume these positive thoughts, right? Because I get a lot of negative thoughts. Like my whole life, I was a very negative person. You know, I always thought of myself as like half myself was like positive, half myself was negative. Like I had this like negative like side to me that would come out when I was like really active, when I was, I don't know, like passionate about something. So I was a very negative person growing up, you know, very impulsive, just like not a fun person to be around, and I didn't really recognize that. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. So because I choose to consume these negative thoughts because they're easier to consume, right? But like once you actually realize that these negative thoughts are dragging you down, and you realize the ones that are actually, you know, in the way, then you stop choosing to consume them because they ultimately like make you a worse person. Like, why would you want to feel like negative thoughts? They ultimately, you know, bring you down. They make you a worse person. So just choose to consume positive thoughts, right? Those are thoughts that God put in your head, right? Like any negative thought is something, you know, that the devil put in your head ultimately, because it wants to drag you down. It wants to drag you down from your purpose. But the positive thoughts that God put in your head are ones that, you know, we're meant to have, that your evolved identity has. So choose to consume those thoughts. But more specifically, this is something that I, you know, learned recently, which is the fact that, like, if something scares you, right? Because obviously fear is the main, like, this is the main factor that's going to limit you from reaching your evolved identity, from like taking anything. It's fear. It's insane, because that's the main thing that, you know, has been in the way. Because fear is very uncertain, right? It's scary. It's not like pain. Pain and fear are completely different, because you can train pain. You can train yourself to feel pain, like going to the gym or like cold showers or something. You know, you can train, you know, your brain for pain. It's more easier, but training your brain to, you know, go after fear and uncertainty is way harder. It's because it's unpredictable. It's scary because you're doing something that you don't know the outcome of. You know, like as humans, like I feel like I've been so attached to the outcome of my life, like especially because I'm getting into sales, right? And the outcome is money, right? But the more you know, focus on the outcome, the more likely you are to mess up. The more likely you are to, you know, go along the path of like evil. Because once you get attached to money, it puts your desires to order the things, and you ultimately don't get success. You don't get money. This is a lot of the law of detachment as well. I really try to focus on, you know, helping people, right, in sales, because ultimately getting into sales, right, you're trying to guide someone to a decision that will ultimately change your life. But if you're really attached to money, then the prospect will feel that, and you're not going to be successful. You're not going to close the deal, and you're not going to make money. So you need to detach yourself, you know, from the outcome, from, you know, fear. If you get a thought in your mind and it scares you, right? It's something in front of you. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's like a thing. Maybe you want to run like a mock call with someone. This is like me going into sales, like practicing my sales. Because at the end of the day, the only way to learn is being in the arena, and it's scary, right? Being in the arena, not the stands, right? Because you could learn like an infinite amount of information. You'll never feel fully ready. The only way to learn is by stepping into the arena, sharpening your skills, and subconsciously flowing. And it is genuinely less stressful when you are going, you know, in the arena, because you're not overthinking every single decision. Because the more we overthink, the more mental energy we put into that. We could put that mental energy into being in the arena, right? Subconsciously flowing and learning along the way. So like literally just throw yourself like into the arena, because if something scares you, then it's probably the next step in your evolution. So if something is negative, right? If you're getting like self-doubt, that is the main thing. Like self-doubt, self-pity, like those are actually negative thoughts that you should not consume. But if something like scares you, and you have this I don't know, this realization that like, if I do this, like you get this, there's this like resistance, right? It's really just your old identity pulling you back. Just realize that that's your old identity pulling you back, because it's the only thing that you've known, right? Your whole life you've been in your old identity, and it is scary to evolve. But if it scares you, then go after it. And literally all you have to do is just throw yourself into the arena and figure out and subconsciously flow. But like, what do you mean by like subconsciously flow? It means throwing yourself like into the arena and spontaneously acting. Like I learned this from cybernetics, is that the brain is not meant to like overthink it and overanalyze every single decision. This is why people stay complacent. It's meant to be in the spontaneous moment. It's meant to literally just flow and like act as you go, right? This is how our human brain works, right? When we're not constantly overthinking, we literally just throw ourselves in the arena and figure out along the way. And it's genuinely less stressful. So if something scares you, then that's honestly like a positive thought that you should choose to consume. Or if it's like self-doubt, self-pity, and like anger, and it ultimately isn't something that aligns with your evolved identity, don't choose to consume it. Like think of every single thought that you have. Like again, like it is a sum, like you are a sum of every thought that you have, but more, you know, the thoughts that you choose to consume. So choose to consume positive thoughts, right? Because our brain wants us to survive. Our brain, well, it ultimately wants us to succeed, but it wants us to fail as well. Life is genuinely so short. I know a lot of people say this, but like really think about it. Like like I'm about to turn 20 years old, bro. Like I feel like I was just like 18, 17 yesterday. Like it goes faster and faster. It's like life is just a test, like for heaven. Like I've been getting really closer with God lately. I've been really interested in my religion because I've been on this huge evolution journey to financial freedom, to trying to go after my purpose. I've been getting really closer with God. I'm completely new to it. I've been learning as much as I possibly can. If you get a thought in your head, it's from your evolved identity wanting to pull you forward. But if it's a negative thought, then it's your old identity. It's literally as simple as that. Don't overcomplicate it. And this is how you evolve into the identity that you were meant to live in. This is how you live in your evolved reality.